Stefan, are you here? Afraz, Ali, he wants to talk to you in the paddock.
Hello? Hey, Stefan, what's up? I On passe dans sortie Morocco.
Stefan, you here? What is the name of the site where we are downloading the Zoll? Department, thank you.
You guys hear me?
Yeah. Microphone check.
I put it out or I need to go upload it?
You don't need more of you.
Happy New Year, Dan.
Happy New Year to you, boss.
Qualifying going to start now.
Justin.
Pardon me?
Yes, it is about to begin.
What's about to begin?
Qualifying.
Yeah, it's about
It's
to
going to run longer instead of just cutting it down to 15 minutes. Microphone test 1 2 1 2.
Jevon, are you here?
Yes, yes, I'm here.
This Soul, I can't find it on the homepage. Do you have a link for it?
Yeah, I've posted it in new members come here. Links. Sorry, AAC starter pack.
AC starter pack. I'm in there now, yeah. And I'm just getting in. No, this YouTube channel. Yeah, I find it. No, that's also YouTube. Fuck.
Alright folks, welcome back here. We are about, well not about to, but we've begun our qualifying session here. It's going to be a lengthy one, so I'm not too hasty to get to it. We've still got a competitor that we are waiting on to arrive. And the first one out of the gate is Marlon Young there. Going off track a bit. Welcome back to Caribbean Sim Racing Organization's GT3 Championship. Now we've got a lot to talk about in terms of what's new here with us, but first and foremost I'd like you to let us know that you're hearing us quite well. So if you can, just say that the audio is great here in the stream and we can move on. Guys, if anyone of you are looking at this just confirm for me that you can hear me.
Yeah. What'd you say?
If you're looking at the stream, just confirm that you can hear me, please.
Yep, I can hear you.
Great, thanks.
Oh, on the stream. Sorry, we're
Yes,
looking at the stream.
on the stream. In the rear end of his Lamborghini Huracan GT3. Martin Webster, though, registering the first time his teammate from Team X-Play of 132.099. We've got 26 minutes and 10 seconds left here. Guys, just a friendly reminder that we are live. Nasseir clocking in, Justin Nasseir clocking in 129.508 here in his Porsche 911R. All custom livery in-house here at CSRO. And he's racing for IRW Racing. Himself and his father are taking the helm of this team. His father's Lance Nasseir, joining the family duo of Danny and Rahul Nasseir here this year, actually late last year, coming in to join us at CSRO. They've all got Caribbean heritage. It's just that they have remigrated to Canada and is representing that country here in the Caribbean. As is done usually under the local series, we do have Americans and Canadians with Caribbean roots representing those countries. As we can now take you to John Green here in his pinky colored liveried Lamborghini Huracan. The team name they're going by this year is Premature Acceleration. Funny name, weird one at that too. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome out to Caribbean Sim Racing's Season 1, our 4th season, to ever grace our organization. We're going to take it a little bit different here for the next few months, and in going forward, we are definitely looking at a new direction here at Caribbean Sim Racing Organization. If I can just bring you up to speed with how that's going to work. So, as you know, a month has 4 weeks, sometimes 5. That is indeed true. But 4 weekends, I'm trying to say, actually. And as you know, we hold races every Saturday here at CSRO. And so what we've done, listening to the feedback from our competitors and from our members, basically, within the last year and well, it's a half a year actually, is that they want more events, and more events really at a good pace. Sometimes they're not interested in running. Oh, we've got a guy facing the opposite direction there. I wonder who that was. He's now getting on the way. It's Jason Kirton there that was facing the other direction. He tried his best to signal to John Green that he was facing the other direction. As we can now take you with the Bajan here of Strakka Racing, number 69 Lamborghini Huracan GT3 car. And back to what I was saying. So after listening to the competitors and listening to the members of CSRO, we've come up with the idea to hold 4 separate and simultaneous championships within the course of 5 months. And how will that run is that we've got 5 rounds within one championship series, and then we've got 4 different championship series. As Jason Kirton takes that Lamborghini Huracan into the pits, we'll now look at Lance Nasseir, followed by Azaad Hassan here, the father of Justin Nasseir, in the other Porsche 911R. Right, so that being said, the following championships that we have going on currently are the GT3 championship, which you see here starting the season, followed by our single make series championship that will be headed for this season by the Nissan Primera, as Lance Nasseir takes that car off track, as we can now follow Jevon gunning here in the Mercedes-Benz AMG GT3 class car. Right, so our single make series championship, it will be headed by will be featuring the Nissan Primera BTCC car of 1998, I think it was, or 1994, I can't remember, I'm so sorry about that. Yes, but it's going to be featuring that car, and we're going to call the series the Nissan Primera Cup Series. That is going to be our single make series. So far we've got the GT3 and the single make series. Following that, we're going to have what we call a special class series, and our special class series will have different classes or classifications or disciplines of motor racing. It might be drifting, it might be drag racing, or it might just be a special series that is featured around the world, such as the Formula 1 series or the Supercar series from down there in Australia. And that is exactly what we're going to headline with in the first season, season 1 here at CSRO. So we're going to have, after the Nissan Primera Cup Series, and that's the following Saturday from now, the next Saturday from now actually, the following Saturday will feature the Supercars class. I hope you're keeping up with me. After that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to newly introduce to the Caribbean, under our banner, an Endurance Cup Series where we'll feature the GTLM class, or GTE class as the North American variant is quite known as, and also we're looking at the LMP1 or LMP2 classes of that series. Now we all know that they're going to move away from the LM classes and go on to LMP, and go on to the LMH, which is the Le Mans Hypercar series. That is going to be replacing we've got Marlon Young fully sideways, and Jevon Gunning doing well to avoid coming into a T-bone there with him. And yes, that is how Climax works. So ladies and gentlemen, yes indeed, we want to get to that LMH class, but unfortunately there are no mods available right now in the LMH class series for Assetto Corsa or in any simulation that I know of currently. It's going to actually launch this year for the Le Mans series, so we're definitely going to be looking out for that, and we've got some renderings actually online already, so you can probably look that up. They've got some beautiful cars that's going to be racing in the Le Mans Hyperclass series. I beg you, go look at those cars. We've got Peugeot also coming back into the fight. I've heard rumors of Audi and Porsche making a return to the class. Well, it's going to be a new class, but it's going to return to Endurance Series. Championship series. So go ahead, look at what's going on there in the real world of things in terms of endurance racing. But indeed, that is going to cover off 4 weekends within the month, and those 4 weekends are going to signify a different championship series here at CSRO. Now, up to the competitors to join whichever championship they want, but they have a mandatory of 2 that they must compete in for the sake of filling the grid here at CSRO. Now, as long as we get more competitors joining the gang within the organization, we can definitely loosen up on that mandatory 2. But as it is, every race car driver that you see, oh, as Jevon comes in contact and sustains damage there in his Mercedes-Benz AMG car.
Sorry about that, Justin. I was waiting for somebody to talk. It's alright.
And we've got a bit of an issue there with Justin and Marlon Young on the track. But back to what I was saying, and before I say so, look at Kurt Moss's livery, ladies and gentlemen, of MOSSIVE Motorsport. The Jamaicans here representing in a CSRO. Well liveried there, I might add, by his teammate, Joel Dallas, who is yet to be out on track. We just saw him there in a differently colored McLaren GT3 as 129.291 is now pole position set by John Green in the pinky Lambo out there from premature acceleration. Nasseir, Justin Nasseir is not too far behind, 0.03 of a second actually behind him. Wilson, Oswin Wilson, in his candy flavored, I would say, liveried Ferrari. We'll get to him in a sec. Actually, let's take a look at Wilson's car right now. I absolutely love the livery on this 488. It's so beautiful, ladies and gentlemen, and the gold rims just sets it apart from the rest. He did this himself, and he's very proud of it too, as he sets himself up for a fast lap. We'll stick with him here on the telly. He's got some guys exiting the pit. I hope they do not interfere with his lap. They do not. And he's going on his way here. Marlon Young climbs up the ladder there with a 131.263, I think it is. But we're looking at Oswin Wilson here on his fast lap. It does say it's his out lap, but no, that we joined him on was his out lap, and so now they're waiting for him to register a time here for his second lap. Before he completes the lap, though, I want to complete what I'm saying. Oh, Moss takes that position away from him with a 131.272. So Kurt Moss is now sitting in 3rd position there with the McLaren 650S. Ken Wilson, I think Wilson is not really on a fast lap here. It's maybe a spotting lap, but we're going to stick with him and see what he produces here. You've got to give the apps about a 1 lap before they can start registering properly what's going on. He actually takes that car into the pit, so you know it's not that fast. Moss as well is in the pits. He's coming out back now. And he's going to wait until the faster cars get by him here, Kurt Moss, and he's now going to go on a fast lap. Who else is out here that we can follow? Jason Kirton of Strakka Racing, representing Barbados, ladies and gentlemen. In his Lamborghini GT3s, you can see him oversteering that car just a bit, but he does manage to keep it under control, the Barbadian. He is 77 thousandths away from that 4th position there set by Oswin Wilson. And I don't think we're going to have a fast lap there coming out of Jason Kirton. No, not after he had that back end, rear end, dancing all the way through. Marlon Young also seems as though he's not on a fast lap here. And we're going to make our way down the line though. Sean Lee, ladies and gentlemen, rejoins, well not rejoins, but is here for the GT3 Championship Series. As you know, Sean Lee representing all the way from the first iteration of this GT3 Series. He's in the Porsche 911R this time around. And a beautifully cameo liveried car, I might add, representing CAMS. That is the actual Caribbean American racing team. Caribbean American racing team out there in America. As Martin Webster take his McLaren 650S into 3rd position. Kurt Moss has got to watch himself now. He's got it on the line. This is official qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. We've got 11.5 seconds to go. It seems as though Martin, though, is going to bring that car down slower. Rahul Nasseir, though, in his very own liveried 488. Nicely done, I might add. Oh, he takes that car onto the grass. Definitely not a planned scenario here, but he's going to take it back to the pits as well. You can see his father now exiting the pits right there. John Green is still on a fast lap. He just keeps on going here. Green's like the Energizer Bunny. Crosses the line. Does he come? Nope, he's actually down by 33 thousandths of a second. Where is Justin Nasseir? Justin Nasseir with 34 thousandths of a second separating pole position here has now exited the pits and is going to try and close this gap, or at least take that pole position over away from John Green. Doing well there through that hairpin section. He's coming around to the fastest part of the circuit round down here at the back straightaway. It's not even a straightaway with all those turns. You can see him trying to go flat out through that section. I think he does manage to do so. Really deep there into the final turn. Well, it's not actually the final turn, it's the second to last turn. This is the final turn before the front straightaway, and now begins his fastest lap. So we're going to stick here with Justin Nasseir and see if he can claim that pole position back from John Green. Very, very patient turn there. The cone signifying where is your turning point, your turn in point. Heavy braking into this semi-hairpin here. And back on the power to head on up the hill and over. You want to bring that car to a halt before it takes flight. And you have no control at the front end. To the first hairpin here featured at this track. And down the fastest section of this track, he loses it, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, what a long drift that was. But unable to bring that car back onto him. What about Martin Webster? He's now crossed the path of where Justin just spun out. He's now coming around to the rear end. He's all up on those curbs. That's going to make him lose some time, actually. You can hear him going through the gears. They're really close to the tires on the inside of that turn. But where is Martin Webster? It says that it's his out lap, so we're actually going to stick with him now as he goes faster, hopefully, on this lap. Afraz, you've got 7.5 minutes remaining. Doesn't seem as though he's gonna better this time, I suppose. But it still stays Moss, Willison, Kirton, Young, Lee. The Nasseir in 9th is Rahul Nasseir. Azaad Hassan there in 10th position. Followed by Danny Nasseir, father of Rahul. Jevon gunning. Another one of the Jamaicans representing out here. His teammate is actually Tommy Gore, but it doesn't seem as though Tommy is going to be able to make this evening's running. And then Lance Nasseir at the rear of the field. That is your qualifying for now. See John Green here coming up against some back markers. He's probably looking to go faster. Justin Nasseir seemingly on a hot lap, but he's got some traffic in front of him with 6 minutes remaining in this session, ladies and gentlemen. You know, if I have cut what I began to say at the beginning of this stream, I do apologize, but the action began to heat up quite immensely here in this qualifying session. It seems as though this 30-minute format will be needed because the 50-minute format is just way too short. John, are you looking at the stream? Can you confirm that you can hear me over the stream?
No, I don't run the stream when I'm racing, sorry. I think one of them guys said they're hearing you.
Never mind. I just realized I could check it myself and I checked it. I realized I didn't want to do it actually. Sorry. Ooh, Justin's got his left father in front of him, and his father seems as though he just messed up that fast lap there for him. But Lance might as well be on a fast lap as well. He now gives way to his son, but unfortunately that might have been way too late. Quite hectic now, and we are in crunch time, ladies and gentlemen. If you followed us from before, if you followed us last year, then you know crunch time is the final 5 minutes of qualifying session as well as race session. So we've got the guys here now in crunch time. 4 minutes to go.
Can't get this car doing no good numbers anymore.
We've got a lot of traffic around track. We've heard Kurt Moss over the radio. He's got Lance Nasseir in front of him. We can see what Lance did to even his son. But Moss does go ahead and cancel that lap.
Like
Osmond Wilson now comes across the line, still in 5th position. Can't better it. He's trying though. We do have some other guys back there in the pits that have not managed to register a time. This is Klaus Klint, the only person without Caribbean roots here who basically begged us to race with us. That's not a problem, you know, Klaus. We love you, man. By the way, Klaus is a Viking. He's a real life Viking. He's hailing there from Denmark. Is it Denmark? Yes, my bad. I'm so sorry. Try not to get that wrong. Oh, there's the flag on his car. Stupid me. So he's gonna give way to Kurt Moss there. Ooh, and they both run wide and into each other. And Klaus is going definitely not where the track is. He's gonna have to take that car back to the pits. But he came in contact with Marlon Young off track there. Joel Dallas, ladies and gentlemen, the teammate of Kurt Moss, now finally trying to get a qualifying session. Not sure what happened to Joel Dallas. He was already ready and waiting here to get going, the Jamaican. But he's finally on track now, and a beautifully liveried McLaren 650S. He did it himself, for both himself and Kurt. See him taking his time out there, but he's got a line waiting behind him, and he does let them go. Afraz Allie, ladies and gentlemen, the person who we were waiting on, has finally gotten into his car and registered his time. And ooh, he's got that rear end all dancy there. And he's gonna have to take that car back to the pits. His teammate is Sean Lee, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, not kill me, yo.
Got Wilson here bringing that car to a complete stop as well. So with about 1 minute to go, ladies and gentlemen, it's John Green from Justin Nasseir. Justin still not able to close that 34 thousandths of a second down to John Green to claim pole position. Maybe he does it on this lap. We'll stick with him.
Yeah.
Brings it across the line, Justin Nasseir. This might be an out lap, I'm not too sure. Does not register as a fast lap. He's actually going to bring that down. That whatever he did there, whatever setting he tried, is not working for him, Justin. So he brings that car and is definitely going to close off his session unless he can get out there. I don't think he can get around for a lap. John Green crosses the line now. And he does not register a faster time, John Green. We've got Kurt Moss as well. The session is over, ladies and gentlemen. The season 1 opener qualifying session is over, ladies and gentlemen. It's John Green from Justin Nasseir. Martin Webster, ladies and gentlemen, coming in for Team X-Play there to claim 3rd position, 2nd on the front row, followed by Kurt Moss here, as you can see in the McLaren 650S. He's got a little bit of damage there on his car. Followed by Oswin Wilson in 5th position. Then Jason Kirton in there in the pits in his Lamborghini Huracan. Marlon Young, teammate of Martin Webster, there in 7th. Sean Lee managing to get 8th. It's Rahul Nasseir in 9th. Azaad Hassan, ladies and gentlemen, coming across the line. Does he do better than his 10th position? No, he does not. So he closes off the session in 10th. Followed by Danny Nasseir, ladies and gentlemen. Jevon gunning, not getting this Mercedes under him. He did not have enough practice as well, but that's his best lap. Afraz Ali here. His best lap is actually invalid, Jevon gunning. That's the message that we saw there from Race Direction. And that'll be the end of the session. Lance Nasseir closing out, ladies and gentlemen. So if I can get the live timings up for you now on the screen, this is what we are looking at. This is what we are going to go into the race with.
Look at that middle field from 3 to 9.
Wonderful qualifying session there, guys.
Wow, that's a
If I leave the setup something, is it gonna reset my qualifying?
Yeah, your lap was invalid. Your lap was invalid.
Oh, so it doesn't matter anyway. I'm going to end up at the back.
You have a registered time that puts you in 12th, so you're not directly at the rear of the field. All right, guys. Good luck. This is the opener for the season, so take it easy out there in the first turn as well. Remember the regulations. And remember the post-race brief afterwards where you can make your complaints. So please don't do them during the race. That being said, have fun, guys, and good luck.
All the best, gentlemen.
Yeah, all the best.
yeah, good race, man. Good race. Let's see how it goes.
I love that midfield from 3 to 9.
It's going to be close racing. Hopefully no one goes out at turn 1. Keep it calm in there.
Why is it showing me in fourth?
It's showing me you're in 4th.
You're
Yeah,
forward.
I'm saying I wasn't in fourth. Austin and Jason Kirton were supposed to be ahead of me. I don't know what's going on here.
No, you got 4th.
You know what? I had a time that it didn't show up on T tracker, so I thought it was invalid. So I'm wondering if that's the case.
No.
Mic off.
Please keep the comms clear into turn 1. Please don't come right up against you. Just move on with your race.
Mic
that.
on.
My countdown is stuck at 160.
I don't have a countdown.
Just watch for the lights, guys. Just watch for the lights. I've got 38 seconds on my countdown. 35 actually now. All right,
You guys see
ladies
the
and
lights? I
gentlemen.
don't see any.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are
Not
ready
yet.
to go here.
Okay, there we go.
Everyone's inching. You can hear those engines revving, ladies and gentlemen. 6 lights are on. And they are off, ladies and gentlemen, as we begin the season opener here to CSRO's GT3 Championship Series. They're biding their time into the first turn, ladies and gentlemen. No major issues to talk about just yet, but a lot of positions have been changed down the line as we're looking at the midfield right now. We've got a couple of guys here fighting for positions. Currently looking at Kirton. Moss has been relegated to 5th position, ladies and gentlemen, but it's John Green right now in lap 1. We've got Nasseir gaining a position over Marlon Young, and Justin losing a position here to Martin Webster, ladies and gentlemen. It is on between 2nd and 3rd position, fighting here. Oswin biding his time behind him, but he's got a front row seat here to this fight. As they break into the turn, Nasseir reclaims that position over Martin Webster, ladies and gentlemen. But it's John Green with the whole shot. You there see there in his pink Lamborghini. Martin Webster does have a bit of damage bodywork there on his car. Oswin Wilson off track. No, goes sideways, Wilson, and in front of traffic. He's going to have to try and bring that car back on track. He loses a ton of positions and goes back down into 12th. Still losing positions here. Hassan, too, with an issue. And it seems as though he's got a damaged windscreen. It's going to be hard for him to see through that. Oh, man, look at that. Let's hope he can continue there. John Green has crossed the line already, ladies and gentlemen, with a significant lead, 2.5 seconds over Justin Nasseir. Martin Webster falling back slightly there from the youngster. Kurt Moss leading the second pack here, ladies and gentlemen, followed by Jevon gunning, Rahul Nasseir, and then Marlon Young. Sean Lee keeping it tight is Jason Kirton to Sean Lee. Jason Curtin's taking it on the inside now of Sean Lee. Just backs off slightly as they head over the hill, the crest of the hill. Another position has been claimed. It's Danny Nasseir over Klaus Klint. Hassan being relegated all the way back down to 15th. I'm pretty sure it's quite difficult to handle that car right now with the damage he has. We've got register of Danny Nasseir and Klaus Klint, as well as Kurt Moss registering cut track warnings there. As we can see, Green now comes across the line. He does the fastest lap of a 1:31, but then followed by Justin Nasseir with 1:36.13. Justin is on the charge, ladies and gentlemen. Marlon Young being overtaken by Sean Lee, ladies and gentlemen. Young, Wilson also claiming another position here over Afraz Ali to be in 10th now. As you can see him, as you saw him lose that position. Lee over Rahul Nasseir. Young over Rahul Nasseir. What is going on with Rahul Nasseir? The youngster falling back here under the guise of Marlon Young and Sean Lee respectively. Actually, it's Sean Lee and Marlon Young respectively, and you can see him trying to fight back here with Marlon Young.
Take it easy behind the rock.
Marlon Young quite scared of what the youngsters bringing to his plate. You can hear him shouting over the radio, "Take it easy there, Rahul." But he's right on the knickers of him. Seems to have a peak there, but no position to make that pass. He's actually backing off now. You can see the rear end of that car slipping out from under him. He's having to back up. What has happened here? Has he killed his tires already? Rahul Nasseir. He's got Jason Kirton now to worry about. We're right now with Jason Kirton. Fastest lap being set again by Nasseir in front. Justin Nasseir here. Getting closer now. Under 1 second to John Green, ladies and gentlemen. We ride with Justin Nasseir now. Justin smooth on his input to his steering wheel there. Quite nicely as John Green used up every inch of that curb to try and maximize his potential here. But Justin, just that much better under the braking of this Porsche, ladies and gentlemen. So much closer to John Green. Oh, there's been a change in position. Gunning again with Lee. Ladies and gentlemen, gunning all up on the inside of that curb. Letting Gunning go ahead though. Letting Sean Lee go ahead though. As they come through the most difficult point of this track, ladies and gentlemen. The pit window is open. And they've got a mandatory 1 pit stop to perform. Justin Nasseir with the fastest lap in this race again. He's taking this fight to John Green. He's not letting up the youngster in the Porsche 911R. Oh, John Green having a lot of trouble there. You can see that Lamborghini right on the camber as it comes out of that turn. He's very much under immense pressure here from the youngster Justin Nasseir out of Canada. Marlon Young is in the pits, ladies and gentlemen. He's got damage. Where did he get that from? He's gonna have that fixed. Gunning now ahead of Lee. Once again, Lee have an issue. He's on the different side of the track, facing the opposite side of the track. Let's Jason Kirton and Oswin Wilson by. But more importantly, Jevon Gunning has now got a free race to gain. Rahul Nasseir also bettering that mishap there by Sean Lee. Klaus Klint as well in the pits with damage. Marlon Young rejoins this race. Justin Nasseir, ladies and gentlemen, takes the lead over from John Green during the issue there with Sean Lee. We've missed it, but it's been done. The youngster claiming first position over the very much anticipated battle between himself and John Green to take the winning lap of this race. Sorry, the winning position of this race in 5 laps time, I should say. It was pretty good, given the fact that John Green here is our most veteran driver with that much wins as well under his belt. The two of them now have managed some 12 seconds or so, I think. Yeah, 12 seconds to Martin Webster here, who's sitting nicely in 3rd position. He's got Kurt Moss behind him. But this has been an exciting start of our season, ladies and gentlemen. The season opener, definitely one to remember, as Kurt Moss is looking here to close that lead that Martin Webster has against him. Wow, Justin Nasseir just continues to open the gap there to John Green. John Green might have used a lot of his tires there, the life of his tires, to try and keep that lead over Justin, but now he seems to have backed off. I can only speculate as to what's going on there with, as Justin goes even faster, 1:32.59, ladies and gentlemen. See, the pace is much more higher there on Justin's car than John Green. Maybe John Green is biding his time. A little bit closer here is Kurt Moss now to Martin Webster in the 2 McLaren 650S variant. An almost silent car on the track. Got a closer battle here now brewing between Oswin Wilson and Rahul Nasseir in the 2 Ferrari 488s. It's Rahul Nasseir that runs it wide, that gives that door a wide open there for Oswin Wilson, who takes no chance in letting that go by. Oswin up into 6th position now. Rahul Nasseir, for that mistake, registering a cut lap warning. They've got 5 total such warnings here. But Oswin up now to 6th position after starting out in 5th. Sean Lee and Jason Kirton now having a little bout. It's Sean Lee though that manages to put that car off the racing line and gives way to Jason Kirton here in the Lamborghini. 7 laps in, ladies and gentlemen. Justin Nasseir is your race leader. Here he is in the Porsche 911R. followed by John Green in the Lamborghini Huracan GT3 variant. Third position, we've got Martin Webster, who's got Kurt Moss very much closely here, battling for third position in the 650S, McLaren 650S. Right now with Kurt Moss. They've got a car in front of them there in the name of Afraz Allie, and the other Porsche 911R sees blue flags and lets them by. Well done by Afraz Allie to stay well out of the way of these two. Kurt Moss there just biding his time, it seems, behind Martin Webster. Martin's got a bit of damage on his car. We can see Ali in the background coming together with the wall. Claus, Klint, Jevon Gunning also registering cut track warnings. The both of them just on 2 for now. But Kurt Moss can smell the exhaust coming off of that McLaren 650S of Martin Webster. And he is not letting up, ladies and gentlemen. He might be biding his time, might be saving on those tires, ladies and gentlemen. But very much indeed trying to put the pressure on him. The pace is just not there for these two though to be up in front. Justin Nasseir now in his 8th lap, or I should say the 9th lap of this race. Sorry, no, he's completed 8 laps. That is correct, yes, completed 8 laps. So he's now on his 9th lap of the race. Meanwhile, the pit window is open, just under 32 minutes to go for the pit window to close. Kurt Moss there running that corner just a little bit wider than Martin Webster, and it doesn't seem to help him that much. Gunning is now coming under pressure from Wilson, ladies and gentlemen. Wilson very much on pace here, ladies and gentlemen, in his Ferrari 488. Jevon having some body damage, definitely gonna have some aero deficiencies going on there because of it. And it seems to be he's suffering into the clutches of Oswin Wilson. Jason Kirton takes a position over Sean Lee, as Sean Lee has another issue here, but coming up on the inside of Jevon Gunning is Oswin Wilson. He's knocking at that door, and it's going to be up to Jevon whether to let him in or not. Ooh, he's trying on the inside. He's going to put the pressure on Jevon here, but Jevon seems to be riding a lot of defensive lines, trying to keep him away from him. In the pit now is Lance Nasseir, ladies and gentlemen. Take you back to that fight though with Oswin Wilson. Over the crest they go, ladies and gentlemen. Great custom shots here from our camera team. Lee crosses over Kirton once again. Where's that battle at? Where is Jason Kirton's having issues actually, and there is just Sean Lee all the way in front of him. Back to Oswin Wilson. He's side by side with Jevon Gunning. They go through the most trickiest part of this track, and Oswin finally giving up on that attack there, which could have been devastating for the both of them. Right in the brakes here. On the brake, and he's on the inside in that very little opening there that Jevon has left him. Ladies and gentlemen, they're side by side into the penultimate turn. Coming down to the front straightaway, ladies and gentlemen. It's Jevon Gunning that manages to hold on just a bit, but there's a right-hander coming up now, and he has to let go to let Oswin by on what was a significant pass for Oswin Wilson here of British Virgin Islands. He's now up into 5th position, where he has began this race and unfortunately had lost out on the first lap with losing the rear end through that very tricky section that he had taken the fight towards Jevon gunning from the inception. But it doesn't seem as though Jevon would like to give up just yet, even though the seems as though he's now stretching his legs there, Oswin Wilson. Jevon gunning very little practice in this car throughout the week. Seems as though he could have been better, especially at warding off that attack there from Oswin Wilson. But unfortunately cannot do much more than he is capable of at this point. Representing Reggae races there out of Jamaica. Jevon gunning the Jamaican here. Losing out on that fight. 5th place. Looking at the timing sheets now. We've got another fight brewing. The fight is still on here between Kurt Moss and Martin Webster, I should say. Completing 11 laps now is Justin Nasseir, managing almost 7 seconds lead ahead of John Green, ladies and gentlemen. But the duo in a league of their own with 26 seconds ahead of the second field, which begins with Martin Webster here, you can see in this shot. Amazing stuff here by the duo. I don't know what Kurt Moss might be considering here under the guise of running this championship. Seems as though he's just biding his time. They might be on the same strategy too. So is he going to look for maybe the undercut to Martin Webster? He's up on the outside there. Doesn't seem as though he's trying to attack Martin Webster. Or he's just probably trying to force an issue here on Martin. Either way, Martin is managing to hold on under pressure. And that is quite well here from another veteran in sim racing. We've got John Green coming up against Claus, and Claus does let him by. Klaus Klint now down 2 laps from the rest of the field. Got a lot of guys losing out here. But Justin Nasseir, the leader of this race, completing 12 laps already in this 1 hour GT3 championship debacle. Pit stops are coming up for sure. That is definitely a must here for the front runners. It's mandatory that they pit under the regulations of this series. And he's now managed to put 7.2 seconds on John Green. Has John Green finally met his match, ladies and gentlemen. Justin Nasseir having a lot of speed there in this Porsche 911R. Now, looking at that, I don't want you guys to think that this is what the championship is going to be like. No. First of all, each car acts and performs differently on different tracks. Secondly, we do have regulations whereby the first 3 are given a performance of balance. Sorry, a balance of performance, BOP as it's known. And that, how do we get that done, you might ask? It's by adding weights to the cars. So, first, second, and third will come away with added weights to head into the second event with. That being 100 kg, 75 kg, and then 50 kg respectively. That being said, apart from the car not performing on the track to come, these guys will not performing as best as we know him to be on the track to come, as Afraz Allie trying his best to stay out of the way here of the race leader Justin Nasseir, and it seems as though Afraz is suffering majorly for it. Oh no! And he's going to lose even more time there. Justin Nasseir completing the 14th lap of this race. John Green some 7.5 seconds behind him, about to do so himself. Martin Webster back here in third position has increased the lead over Kurt Moss here just a bit by 2.1 seconds, and Klaus Klint deciding to come off track to let the leaders by. So then where is Wilson on this? You can see how far away he is from that fourth position, some 15 seconds almost behind Kurt Moss. But he's quite comfortable here in fifth position. If he can manage to hold this pace through, then he can definitely end his race here in fifth position as Marlon Young gives way to him. Candy liveried Ferrari 488, ladies and gentlemen. I want to take you on a lap on board with Justin Nasseir here. His pace has dropped off, of course, because the tire wear is obviously continuously being degraded every lap. It depends on if John Green as well might have done the same, that he would be under pressure, but it doesn't seem so. He just continuously increases his lead over John Green. A lot of blind turns here at Sonoma Raceway, ladies and gentlemen. Makes for an exciting and yet difficult track. Oh no, Justin Nasseir might just be seeing his tires go off, ladies and gentlemen, as he does a full 360. Where's John Green? John Green now sees him on the left hand side there of the track, ladies and gentlemen, and takes the lead of this race once again. Does Justin do the right thing and bring that car back into the pits? I don't even think it's in the window yet for him to do so. But he might have damaged those tires significantly there. And John Green regains the lead of this race. Not sure, he might have just lost focus just a bit there, Justin Nasseir, or his tires are definitely going off now as Lee makes a move on Rahul Nasseir, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, Rahul just riding that a little bit too much there, riding that curb a little bit too much there, but Sean Lee has been given the go-ahead there in his Porsche 911R to take 7th position away from the youngster. Afraz Allie now in the pits.
Lance, if you please on the bike.
Oswin Wilson there requesting a pass from Lance Nasseir as a back marker, and Lance Nasseir actually took that car hard into the wall and back into the pits. That makes 2 cars now back into the pits, seemingly with heavy damage, I suppose. But John Green has managed to pull 5 seconds out of his cap against Justin Nasseir here, that we saw that had that mistake there on that lap. Might be losing a lot of tire here, but still not in his window for a pit stop. Meanwhile, the duo has put some 30 seconds between them and 3rd position here. That's being headed by Martin Webster, who's got Kurt Moss for good company right behind him. crossing another back marker there. It's Afraz Allie who's managed to come back on track. And Justin as well crossing over Afraz Allie there. Afraz now down 4 laps, but he's still continuing. That's the spirit that we like to see here at CSRO. If at first you fail, do try again, and even more so, try again as well. Justin Nasseir seems like he's backing off the pace now. He's killed those tires on this Porsche 911R. 17 laps in now, and 32 minutes and 45 seconds to go in this race, ladies and gentlemen. We're almost there at the halfway mark as Danny Nasseir registers his 3rd cut track warning. Crosses the line with a pace of 31.7, I believe, and Justin Nasseir doing better with a 30.8. So Justin still has the superior pace over that Lamborghini. Ooh, Martin Webster is getting coming under pressure there. Rahul Nasseir, Danny Nasseir actually goes into the pits here. This is his strategy unfolding as we take a look at him and his pit stop. He's in 10th position, still in the points. He's got Marlon Young a whole lap down off from him, who's actually, they're both a lap down, but he now rejoins the race here. And he's going to be in 11th position. Jevon Gunning enters the pit from 7th position, ladies and gentlemen. These are all the, these are definitely all the pit stop strategies coming undone here. Jason Kirton in 8th position, coming across him, as well as Nasseir, just Jason Kirton actually. And while he's sitting in the pits, Marlon Young is behind him, but he's an entire lap down as Jevon rejoins the race in his Mercedes-Benz AMG GT3 class car. He's now down 1 lap, but the others above him still have to pit. John Green here, you can see him on his 19th lap, sorry, his 20th lap. He has completed 19 laps. But Justin Nasseir just managing to stay within 4 seconds here of him. Oh, we've got someone. It's Jason Kirton, ladies and gentlemen, 8th position, facing the other way. He is now 1 lap down as well. Klaus Klint there registering his 5th cut track warning, therefore he has no more warnings to get. The next one will send him on a drive-through penalty. Jason Kirton here probably off on his tires. I think this is the first time they've managed to actually do a race simulation as well. So a lot of them unexpectedly being hit with the depth of these tires to some point, the grip level that is. And it's going to be Curtin Moss here, ladies and gentlemen, that's trying to close this gap even more to Martin Webster and probably take that position over or try to undercut. Nasseir, ladies and gentlemen, Justin Nasseir enters the pit for his strategic pit stop here. Klaus Klint been issued a drive-through penalty for cutting the track more than 5 times, ladies and gentlemen. Jason Kirton out of this race. It seems as though we've lost him. He's now registered as a DNF, ladies and gentlemen, out of this championship race, ladies and gentlemen, in 9th position. Kurt Moss and Martin Webster over the line into second and third. It seems as though these 650Ss
Claus,
have
I'm
something
behind
up on their sleeve, up
We'll
under
never
their
race
sleeve.
for Sean Lee ever again.
And Jason Kirton there, you're being heard. He's got some issue with Sean Lee. Not sure what has occurred there. The race definitely has always been in the past and will now, as usual, be looked at in a post-race brief before the official results are given. But ladies and gentlemen, I do want you to know that and Klaus Klint has taken his drive-through penalty. I do want you to know that that incident between Jason Kirton and Sean Lee will be looked at. Not quite sure what is going on here between them. Kurt Moss there, you can see them
Watch it.
getting up closer to Lance. Lance gives him the inside line, but he's definitely turning on the pressure now. Kurt Moss to Martin Webster. We've got Oswin Wilson as well now in the pits, ladies and gentlemen. Hassan and Klint as well in the pits, ladies and gentlemen. But we're looking at this fight here now between Kurt Moss and Martin Webster. Seemingly turning on the pressure here is Kurt Moss. You can see a bit of damage there on Martin Webster's car. What's amazing to look at here is that the both of them, oh, that's where he's losing time, Martin Webster. And he's going to try to up and under. He's made a mistake. Oh no, Kurt Moss. Blinded by an entire McLaren 650S. He misses that turning point entirely. Losing a lot of time here. There's 10 minutes left in the pit window. 10.5 minutes left in the pit window. When will these two pit? John Green as well on his 23rd lap has got Danny Nasseir in front of him. Sorry, it's Rahul Nasseir that he's coming up against.
No, it's okay.
And there he goes. John Green takes that car into the pit on lap 23. Where is Justin Nasseir? He's an entire, ladies and gentlemen. He's done well, John Green, to stay outside of this pit box, it seems. But Justin Nasseir, Martin Webster, and Kurt Moss, who still has to pit in front of him. Okay, there's an incident at turn 1. We're not seeing any yellow flags there. And John Green, you can see still in the pits. It's Kurt Moss finally over Martin Webster as Martin Webster takes that car into the pits. Justin Nasseir now comes around the penultimate turn. Justin Nasseir, he's crossing the finish line. John Green gets back in front of him. But Justin is closer to John Green than many would have expected. Justin Nasseir makes a move. Seemingly, Kurt Moss giving him that position, knowing the bout between the two of them. But Justin Nasseir is now back in the fight here for this podium position. Martin Webster trying to jump the gun on Kurt Moss by being in the pits now. Another person out of this race seems to be Oswin Wilson. Here is Justin Nasseir. We ride with him now. He can see a John Green who's just managed to come out ahead of him in the pit stops, but can probably gain on him. John Green, though, on much healthier tires than Justin. "23 minutes left in this race. Under 8 minutes left to make that pit stop, that mandatory pit stop." Ooh, he's even so closer now. Justin Nasseir to John Green as they come around the penultimate turn onto the front straightaway, ladies and gentlemen. Battle is heating up. It's on, ladies and gentlemen, with a surplus of 20 minutes left in this race. The heat is on. The fight is on for first position. And why shouldn't it be? Justin knows he has the pace. At Kurt Moss takes this car into the pits now, and he's off already in front of Martin Webster, who's seemingly on, yes, the penultimate turn. Kurt Moss, ladies and gentlemen, has managed to pull off the undercut against Martin Webster. And he is now back into third position, ladies and gentlemen, ahead of Martin Webster in third position. Taking you back up the field, though, Justin Nasseir. Closer now to John Green down the fastest section of this track. Just about 7/10 away, ladies and gentlemen, from pole position. Sorry about that. TQ in car now with Justin on this attack against John Green.
Thank you.
Ooh, Martin Webster been given this first cut track warning, seemingly because he is putting or trying to put the pressure on and the pace on to try and catch back Kurt Moss there in third position. Much better on the brakes there, Justin Nasseir. And that seemingly is where he is gaining his position and gaining his time against John Green. Rahul Nasseir now in the pits from 5th position. He's got Jevon Gunning and Sean Lee coming up behind him. I think they're not going to be able, he's not going to be able to hold on to position. No, he does not. I know Jevon Gunning is definitely pitted. I'm not too sure about Sean Lee. John Green registering a faster time there, 1:30.262. So John Green is definitely on the pressure here as Nasseir manages to take back 6th position away from Sean Lee as Lee pits. Sticking with this battle for now because it's the closest one we have, even with 19 minutes remaining. Where would the climax be for this battle? Seems as though they've got a back marker they're coming up against. I think it's Azaad Hassan. No, it's Jevon gunning. And I think Rahul Nasseir. Nasseir is down an entire one lap, and he does let Jevon gunning go by. He's got more persons coming up behind him. It's actually Danny Nasseir, who's up there in 9th position.
Brother, Danny.
Danny just manages to stay out of the way. Ooh, Lance Nasseir been given a drive-through penalty. Not Justin Nasseir, but Lance Nasseir has been given a drive-through penalty. Justin Nasseir now right up under the knickers of John Green, ladies and gentlemen. And they've got Jevon gunning in front of them to worry about. Well, John Green has Jevon gunning in front of him to worry about. Because Gunning managed to stay out of the way. We're going to take a look at him now. Ooh, Martin Webster having some issues here. And Gunning not too far away. So Gunning's going to want to get past Webster. And Webster's going to have to pull across the line because we've got John Green and Justin Nasseir coming up behind them. It's going to be tight here. Definitely one for the Stewards to watch on the inside. John Green calling out to Jevon gunning. Jevon managing to leave that position as he moves across now and tries to stay out of the way of Justin Nasseir. Does manage to do so quite nicely, or maybe not, because it seems as though Justin has lost some time. Meanwhile, Webster had to pit again, and now Jevon gunning is in 4th position. Rahul Nasseir up to 5th now.
I'm 3rd place is behind you, bro.
Lee has managed to overtake Webster too, while Webster's in the pits as well. I'm not sure if he's calling it quits for the day. But John Green is definitely under pressure here now from Justin Nasseir. The hardest part is coming across those back markers, and they've done so quite nicely so far. Looking at gunning, he's got a good amount of space here between Rahul Nasseir that we see in 5th. Young has now actually come across the line in front of Martin Webster.
On the wall.
We've got Danny Nasseir, who's got a car off. Oh man, that's damage beyond repair it seems. So he's back into the pits. Looking back now at Rahul Nasseir as he comes across the line. Jevon Gunning manages a good lead there. Afraz Allie trying to actually crashes out of the way there of Jevon Gunning. Rahul Nasseir has got a lot of work to do within these 15 minutes to try and claim back any position here, any time between himself and Jevon Gunning. Sean Lee the same, but Marlon Young right now has managed to come across the line in front of Martin Webster, his teammate, who has finally rejoined this race right behind him, but a lap down from the leaders. Jevon Gunning registering his 4th cut track warning. He's got to watch himself and be very careful here. But behind Martin Webster is Danny Nasseir, who is in the pits in 10th position, waiting, it seems, to get back out on track with whatever damage that has to be fixed. Coming across the line there. Where is Afraz Allie? He's 5 laps down, Afraz Allie. Klaus Klint as well is 5 laps down. Azaad Hassan maybe is out of this race, as well as Lance Nasseir and Oswin Wilson. Sad day for Oswin coming out there in 5th position. He began this race and now unfortunately been relegated all the way down to 14th, and we've lost Jason Kirton too in this race. John Green now on his 31st lap with 13 minutes to go in this 1 hour race. And he's got Justin Nasseir. Ooh, they've got a line of cars in front of him, all fighting for position. And they're gonna have to try and stay out of the way of John Green.
Thank you.
We ride now with John Green as he manages to get past Klaus. What about Justin? Justin does manage to get past Klaus as well. Oh no, that's Justin Nasseir losing it in front of Klaus. Justin Nasseir losing it in front of Klaus, ladies and gentlemen. We just saw that car come across the line of Klaus, but been hit straight by Klaus, I suppose, and now has been relegated some 3.7 or 8 seconds back from the race lead that is being held by John Green. Where is Kurt Moss in this? Kurt Moss is well under 1 lap, it seems, or almost 1 lap. It's going to be almost 1 lap for Kurt Moss. These two has managed, the two of them, John Green and Justin Nasseir, have managed. Marlon Young stays out of the way.
Hey, Martin.
But John Green, even with all those lapped cars in front of him, has still managed to hold on to the lead of this race. But it's Justin Nasseir with all the issues here. You can see 3.7 seconds away from John Green. Oh man, what an eventful race, but still managing to take away some great points here. You can see John Green going off there in the right hand side of the screen, and here's Justin Nasseir. I must add, he did quite well to get that car back under control and back in this race, not losing any more time than just 3 seconds. And he's got to turn it on now because they've got almost 10 minutes left in this race. It's John Green, ladies and gentlemen, followed by Justin Nasseir, a Kurt Moss in 3rd position, a lonely 3rd position, followed by Jevon Gunning, who's in a lonely 4th position as well, followed by Rahul Nasseir, also in a lonely 4th. Sean Lee, who's now, he's not in a lonely 5th position there. Rahul Nasseir, we've got Sean Lee, that's not too far away, in the Porsche 911R, coming up against Rahul Nasseir in the Ferrari 488. John Green registering his 2nd lap, cut lap warning, which not an incident where he crashed out actually, but maybe he's losing those tires. I'm not sure what his strategy was. We'll definitely ask them at the end of this race. But Sean Lee, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at this battle that's been brewing here. And it's about to get on the way, actually. Right now with Sean Lee. I must add that this is not the full contingent of drivers that we expected out here in the first round of this championship. There are more to come. Unfortunately, life has gotten in the way of them for today's event. But even closer now, ladies and gentlemen, Sean Lee to Rahul Nasseir as they come across the line here. Well under 1 second now and closing down. Klaus Klint claims the last point here as he crosses over the last amount of last remaining positions in this race. Nasseir is back out on track though in 11th. Afraz Allie registering his 3rd cut track warning. Sean Lee, ladies and gentlemen, in the slipstream of that Ferrari 488. Both on the heavy braking here. And up and under he goes. Taking that fight to Rahul Nasseir, ladies and gentlemen, through the tricky section. Does he manage to get the job done? No, he does not. Rahul manages to hold on to that 5th position for one more lap, it seems. After bringing it up side by side with the youngster. Oh, you can see the rear end there sliding from Rahul Nasseir in the Ferrari. Heavy on the braking here again. Seems like he has much more superior braking in this Porsche as he's bringing that car side by side, and he finally does it over the penultimate turn to claim 5th position over Rahul Nasseir. Sean Lee managing to get the job done, and that's how you do it. Definitely having a bad day out here is Rahul Nasseir. Does he have what it takes to send this car back? In the meantime, Justin Nasseir has managed to come under 3 seconds here against John Green. But we're looking at this fight here, ladies and gentlemen, between Sean Lee and Rahul Nasseir. Can Sean Lee increase the lead? You can see it there. At the bottom center of your screen, it's about 6.5 tenths between the two of them.
Thank you.
Ooh, you can see where he's gaining his time there, Sean Lee against the youngster. And it's bye-bye maybe to the Ferrari. I'll take you now with Justin Nasseir, who's got that pink Lamborghini in front of him for maybe too many laps he'd like to ponder. It's almost crunch time, ladies and gentlemen. Looking back though, Martin Webster is in 7th, been relegated to 7th after being up there in 4th and 5th positions, followed by his teammate Marlon Young there in 8th. Afraz Ali coming late into this bout and managing to stay in, claims 2 points, 3 points actually. Just let me check my trusty old points calculator. He's going to manage 2 points. That is indeed correct here in 9th position. And Danny Nasseir, who's managed to bring that car over Klaus Klint, has managed to crash that car once again, is going to claim the final point of this race. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in crunch time. Does Justin Nasseir have what it takes to send this car past John Green into the podium positions of this race? Into the top standing position of this race. Kurt Moss in a lonely 3rd position is ahead of them. Coming up to these few corners here, you can see John Green there. He's the last one left to be lapped by the two of them. In 3rd position, he's running a lonely 3rd position race. We will have a post-race interview with the top 3 to go over their race. But Justin Nasseir, the pace is just not there for the youngster that he saw in the opening laps, which means that John Green might have just had a difference are quite a difference in strategy here to play it out to the end and claim this race win if he does manage to hold on to it. He's now on the 37th lap of this race. Looking back at Sean Lee, he did manage to open that gap to Rahul Nasseir. And Martin Webster in a lonely 7th, Marlon Young in a lonely 8th. Here we go, it's just about 1.5 laps remaining here in Caribbean Sim Racing Organization's Season 1 GT3 Championship Round 1 opener here at Sonoma Raceway out in America, United States of America. John Green, ooh, going a little bit too rough there, I suppose, over that crest. Almost losing full control of that car. But we're gonna stick with him here. I think they've got about 1 lap left. Yeah, I think they're gonna have about 1 lap left to complete this race, ladies and gentlemen. No comms when you cross the line, no comms when you cross the line.
Yeah, another lap.
Yes, that is indeed true. We will definitely get 1 more lap here out of John Green and Justin Nasseir as Kurt Moss lets them by. Well done by Kurt Moss to let them by. But it's John Green who lost out on his commanding lead of this race to Justin Nasseir, who turned on that pressure quite earlier on. And Justin Nasseir having quite an eventful race that might have played into him losing out to John Green. But we saw a lot of the pit stops, the strategy unfold and so on. But this race has definitely been an eventful one. And it's going to show us what is going on here. Sean Lee managing to claim a position over Jevon Gunning. Jevon Gunning has definitely had an issue here with 1 lap remaining in this race, ladies and gentlemen. This is now a race here for 4th position. Meanwhile, Rahul Nasseir has managed to claim his 5th cut track warning. I'm not too sure if that's going to see him get a penalty at the end of the race. But Jevon Gunning has lost the position to Sean Lee here. Sean Lee claiming 4th over him. Take you back up now. It's John Green that's on the final lap. Final lap, John Green. This is your final lap. The race is not over.
Hey, give us
It's
checkered.
over. It says
Give us checkered.
I'm getting final lap on the comms here.
It's given race over.
Hey, give us checkered. That was good, right?
Alright, quiet on comms.
Good one, bro. Where you want us to line up?
Quiet on comms, quiet on comms. So we got Sean Lee still racing here.
Justin, the race is not over. Go, go.
The race is over.
Go.
The race is over. We got checkered at the line.
Lee closes it off. Jevon closes it off. Nasseir is going to close it off, and then Afraz and Klint. I'm just going to wait until Nasseir crossed the line. Okay, well done, guys. So let me just get Green, Nasseir, and Moss in an interview quite quickly. Out on the front straightaway. If you guys can make your way around there, please.
Coming around.
Yeah, I don't think I can make it all the way around there.
I think it's 3 minutes, so go ahead. No, I've actually set it for 5, so go ahead. What an eventful race here out at our opener. And coming across the line was John Green, followed by Justin Nasseir and Kurt Moss, ladies and gentlemen. Sean Lee managing to claim clinch 4th position at the ending. Those of you not on the podium, please take that car back into the pits. Thank you. Over Jevon gunning here. Not sure what has happened to Jevon. He might have had an issue, but he lost out on that 4th position there to Sean Lee. Rahul Nasseir managing to hold on to 6th. He's definitely had an eventful one out here, Rahul. Martin Webster as well as Marlon Young losing out a lot there. Afraz Allie managing to hold on for that 9th position. Danny Nasseir, Klaus Klint. Danny Nasseir claiming the last position in the points. Klaus Klint, Hassan, Nasseir. Wilson with a DNF. I think he actually left sooner than expected. Right, guys. Congratulations to the winners. And
Thank you.
and I want to say it has been quite an eventful run here with you guys. Gonna start first with Kurt Moss there. It didn't seem as though you had it to go against Martin Webster, but you seemingly just held it together and claimed that position to claim 3rd position. Tell us how that went for you.
Well, I had the pace. Was being cautious, didn't want to take out Martin and myself, so kind of staying back. But I knew it's kind of hard to pass on this track, so I had to do it in the pit. So as soon as when I saw him going to the pit, I did one more lap, and to kind of gain some ground on him, and that's how I got the pass. It was a very good race with him for like half an hour or more. So he did good, holding me off.
Definitely, we saw that battle. We were looking at that battle on the stream, and we definitely enjoyed it. We knew at some point you were biding your time, and we really appreciate that strategy coming from you to look at it and see how it unfold. Not quite sure what happened with Martin though, how he lost it, how he made that fall through the roof. But definitely gonna have to look at that in the post-race brief. Justin Nasseir, well done to you, youngster. Oh man, it looked as if you were going to have the pace to take that Porsche down to the line and in front of John Green. But your 2nd stint wasn't as fast as your first. What happened?
First stint, I was going along. I hit the bump in the S's. I bottomed out on the curb and it shot me wide and I spun. I was okay, but earlier in the run I had hit a bump going into the carousel and it had given me damage to my engine. So I was really pushing hard to keep up. That's why I was really desperate on the 2nd run to keep up, because I was using John to draft down the straightaways to keep up. It was really tough. So I was pushing so hard.
Oh, wow.
I was down a little bit on the straights.
Well, we did see you at one point.
I made a desperation lunge in the S's because I was like, I can't lose the draft or it's over.
Right, apart from that, we were actually in car with Klaus when you came across on Klaus, and I'm like, what has happened here with Justin Nasseir? And I think Klaus probably hit you straight and you were able to go again. That was amazing to watch, but it saved you, I should say, because I think that would have been race over for you.
Yeah, it would have been race over. I would have been able to keep it out of the wall, but it would have been completely race over for the win.
Well, coming out there with a lucky feather in your hat, John Green, seems as though you're back to your old ways there, you old veteran. Tell us, walk us through this race here. What happened to the first stint, and did you just get lucky in the 2nd?
Yeah, the Porsche is quick, and Justin is very quick. So there was no beating Justin in a Porsche with the soft tires. That's the only tires that could compete against the car on this track. But so when I went to the mediums, I had just it was a strategy race at the end. So I knew I couldn't beat him on pace, so it was just a strategy that I had to work out in the first stint. Basically, I knew I would have been running an extra 5 to 7 laps longer than him. So, well, I predicted I should. Because I know the Porsche is very heavy on its rear tires, so I was just predicting that you would have to pit before.
Nice. And so, what do you think about this new format? I've been talking to the viewers here about the new format with the championship series. Are you excited to what's going to come up in the future here at CSRO?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is new. We have so much to do. You know, we're gonna have different races almost every Saturday. So different league, different cars. Different approach. So it might not be me winning in the next race. It might be somebody completely different. But I do like my pink machine, so I hope to win the championship.
Definitely, quite weird color there for you to choose. Does it represent anything significant?
No, I just like pink. I think it's a bold color, so I'll leave it at that. And I always admire the pink evolution that used to drag race years ago. So I think they call it Pinky. So it's I think it's in remembrance of that Evo.
Oh, great! I think the guys down here at the local motor racing club would definitely like to hear that. All right, thanks a lot, folks. That is it for us here at CSRO, our first opener, or well, our opener to the first season. Thanks a lot to the competitors for coming out. We did miss some of the guys. We knew that they wouldn't be here, but we have more coming in the second round. Next week, we begin the single make championship series. That's going to feature our Nissan Primera BTCC car. It's going to be, I think it's the 94 model. We're going to get that started for the next weekend's bout. So we're not done. We're only getting started, and that's going to be a single make series. So what happens is that they've all got the same cars. It's only down to the driver and their setups. So that's going to be quite interesting to see as well, especially if between themselves they decide to trade setups and use setups. But we're definitely going to be looking forward to that. But that is it here. I want to say thank you guys for coming out today, both competitors and viewers. And I'll just let the guys say their last goodbyes before I say my last goodbyes privately.
All right, thank you all for watching. All right, thank you.
Yeah, goodbye, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Make sure you tune in next week.
All right, that is it. Thanks a lot, guys. See you in the next one. Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we have now. So I want to remind you before we go of a few things. The championship series that we're running now, it's going to be once per month. So this GT3 championship is going to be back in February. Let me get the dates for you in case you're interested in just following the GT3 championship series. So we just did Sonoma Raceway here on the 9th. Round 2 is going to be the 6th of February. We're going to Donington Park. Round 3 is going to be the 6th of March at Mugello. Round 4 is going to be 3rd of April at Suzuka. And round 5 is going to be 1st of May at Mosport Park. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the first round of our GT3 Championship Series. And what I just read to you was our schedule. Next week, we begin our Single Make Championship Series. In order for you to know what's going on with that, kindly stay tuned to our Facebook page, kindly stay tuned to our YouTube page, as well as our Instagram page. I'm kind of falling back on the Instagram page to keep you up to date, but what I have coming for you guys on the Instagram is going to be great. So links are going to be issued under the description of this video, so come on back to those a little bit in the day. We have now got some post-race brief to get at, so I want to leave you guys here now with some music. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks a lot for following us. See you in the next one.
Mic off.
Ah, man.
Hey, you know this